2024 EZGO RXV Elite with the lithium battery. It has no power, doesn't turn on at all. Battery measures 0 volts. Let's see if we can get it working. Here we have the battery. It measures 0 volts. And I have a 60 volt. Leaf blower battery. Let's see what that does. The 60 volt leaf blower battery plugged in, and I just hear a relay clicking. 60 volts. And what's the current going in from the battery? You see 2.5 amps, 2.3 amps. Okay, so some power is going, but it's not enough to turn on anything, and it's just making the relay click. Okay, let's take this battery out and see if we can charge it with a power supply. Gotta press up to get it out. Okay, let's disconnect the battery terminals. Okay, these are just 13 millimeter. Yeah, sometimes it's convenient to just bring all the sockets out. Let's see, yep, this one's a 14, so they're not the same. Okay, let's disconnect the positive. This is the charging wire, and this one is the power to the controller. And this is ground charging and ground to controller, and this is the connection to the controller. And I don't know if this one has an external battery management or it's built in. Okay, and let's see, how do we take the battery out? Okay, so these are 8 millimeter all the way around. Let's take them off and see what's under the cover. And this one is 54 amp hours. It's 56.7 volts. Okay, so these bolts are actually holding the battery down. They're pretty tight and they're pretty long. Okay, 6 bolts out. They're pretty long coarse thread, so they hold the battery to the battery box. And here's the battery. It's very light, probably 50 pounds. Okay, let's see what's under the cover. So here there's some additional terminals that have these covers on. And these maybe go directly to the battery. And this one has a little bit of corrosion. So here voltage is 48 millivolts, which is almost nothing, but not exactly nothing. So maybe these are directly connected to the battery. Let's take off some other things and see. And here on the bottom side you can see Gen 2 composite module case lower, 14 in series, 14 in parallel, 23 March or April. Okay, and one more simple thing to check is if the top terminals are connected to the big terminals. So first checking continuity on the negative, and that one probably should be connected. Yep, 0.3 ohm. And on the positive, and that one's probably controlled through the BMS. Yep, nothing. So probably the battery got over discharged, and now the BMS is cutting off the connection to the terminal because we're under the under voltage protection. Okay, we're gonna do a little hacky setup, but this is the Raiden 6030 Max. It's the one with the larger screen, and it can do 60 volt 30 amps. So we're gonna hook it up to this and see if it takes any charge. Okay, so we'll do 57.6 volts charging, and we'll start with 1 amp current and see if it takes any charge. If the battery is still good, it should quickly charge up to some nominal voltage, around 50 volts, and then gradually charge up. Okay, connect it here and here and do on 57.6, 0 amps, and the battery indicator is saying nothing. Okay, so the dedicated battery charging terminal wasn't outputting anything, so I think it sees 0 volts at the output terminals and it doesn't want to charge that battery, so I'm using it as a regular power supply, just plus and minus, and I have 1 amp set and it's putting out 0.1 amp right now, 5.7 watts, so very little power, but something is going into the battery. Let's give it 10 minutes and see if current goes up. So this battery, 50 amp hours, it should be charging at 10 to 20 amps. Let's see how it does at 1 amp for 10 minutes. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes and we have 0.001. So this is clearly not working. Okay, let's think about it. And for completeness, here's the voltage at the large terminals after about 10 minutes of sitting at 60 volts. 334 millivolts. So some kind of change, but still less than 1 volt, so this is clearly not working.